went to bleeding races, 'twas on the 9th of June, 1862 on a summer's afternoon. I took the bus to Bamberley's and she was heavy laden. Away we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to bleeding.
You're watching Toon Army TV. Welcome to the channel. This is the Newcastle versus Crystal Palace match preview for the game on Tuesday night at St James's Park. It's a 8:15 kickoff live on the TV. The games are coming thick and fast, as you know. Every Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday, Wednesday, you know the score as we try and conclude the season. Just as well, Newcastle have a quick-fire game. The confidence will be oozing through the side after a very convincing 2-0 victory at Goodison Park against a very good Everton side. I was surprised by the lads picking up 3 points. I didn't give them any hope. I was more satisfied on a draw, but the fact that we got the victory can only build the platform from there to go on and pick up more points for the rest of the season and stay in this league. I'm not putting it down to Graham Jones, as a lot of fans have suggested. I'm not even putting it down to Steve Bruce. I'm putting it down to the squad believing in their own abilities. And if they do that, if we have our better players playing, like ASM, like Wilson, like Fraser, like Almiron, then we should win a lot of games in this league. That is a good forward four for a lot of defences to be very afraid. Now, going back to the Everton game, we could have scored more on the day. Callum Wilson scored 2, could have scored 4. He got his 10th goal in Newcastle colours and he scored his 100th career goal. So that's good for him. He'll be full of confidence and ready to go on Tuesday night, and that's a good thing. He did score against our opponents, Crystal Palace, in the reverse fixture at Selhurst Park. We beat them by 2-0. Joe Linton was even on the scoreline that night. But talking of Crystal Palace, they come off the back of a 1-0 victory against Wolverhampton Wanderers at Selhurst Park. Wolves are not having a good season, but that is a welcome 3 points for Roy Hodgson and his men. They will be coming up to St James's Park with a game plan. They'll be looking for revenge after the reverse fixture, and they'll just want to build on their recent win as well. So this game could be a very interesting one. It could be an exciting one. I'm not going to get too carried away with the Everton result. I'm pleased that we finally got a win after 11 games without getting one, and we lost 5 straight Premier League games. Can we make it back-to-back wins? Well, we've got enough about the side to be going and getting 3 points at St James's Park. St James's Park is our bread and butter for 3 points. That's no disrespect to Crystal Palace, and that will be no disrespect to Southampton coming up on the Saturday either. But we'll take it one game at a time. I'm expecting a very tough game. I don't think Crystal Palace will be as poor as Everton were. It'll be a game that's full of intensity. Crystal Palace like to attack. We like to sort of hit teams on the counter-attack, whereas Crystal Palace, they like to attack for fun. And they've got the players to cause problems on any given match day. Why can't the lads just show the same mentality that they showed against Everton going into Crystal Palace? Because if we show the same mentality, then we should have no problem getting 3 points on Tuesday night if we just put the required effort in. As for Crystal Palace, they'll be thinking the same. So it could be quite an open one. I wouldn't go 4-3-3 against Crystal Palace, in my personal opinion. I would go the 4-2-3-1. Crystal Palace like to go 4-2-3-1 as well. So I would actually match them in that area. And if we could match them, then we should have enough quality to come out the right end of a result. But listen, nothing is a given in this Premier League. We'll have a look at the table as we go into this fixture. Well, Newcastle are currently still 16th place, but we are level with Burnley. I am recording this before Burnley play. They are ahead on goal difference. But if Newcastle can win, then we could jump up a few places and go level with Wolves. But of course, that could change over the course of midweek. So the table will chop and change over time. But we still do have a healthy gap on Fulham and West Brom, who drew 2-2 the other day. At the end of the day, we just need to focus on ourselves. If we do that and get the 3 points against Crystal Palace, and if Fulham and West Brom slip up, or even Brighton to a degree, then we should be okay. But listen, it's one result. We need to back it up against Crystal Palace, and they're going to be no walk in the park. We're going to have to make sure that the service is correct again to Callum Wilson. It was much better on Saturday against Everton, but we need to see that on a consistent basis. If we see that on a consistent basis, then we shouldn't have problems picking up victories in this division. I've said it all along, we are good enough to stay in this division. We've got a good enough side to stay in this division. But Steve Bruce needs to go out with the same mentality that he did against the second half of Leeds and the full 90 minutes against Everton. And if we do that, then we should be okay in the long run. Do I expect us to make any signings before this game? I don't think so. There might be a few outguns, but we'll wait and see on that. Now, in terms of my start 11 for the game on Tuesday night, it's going to be 4-2-3-1. So in goal, Karl Darlow. He's going to be a mainstay for this side. I understand why Steve Bruce is picking him. He was decent against Everton, pulled off some decent saves when called upon, so there will be no reason to drop him. At left back, Jamal Lewis had one of his better games against Everton. I believe in this lad. I'm not going to be one of those fans that get on his back. He's only a young lad. He's 23. And it's not about his price tag for me. It's about allowing this lad to learn in this side, learn to play Premier League football on a regular basis. I can understand why Norwich let him go, because he wants to stay in the Premier League. He wants to learn the trade, if you like. And he looked positive against Everton. He assisted Callum Wilson's second goal, the goal that killed off any attempt of Everton getting back into the game. So it's important that he starts, and he's better in a back four rather than a back five. At right back, I'm going to go with Javier Manquillo. Had a decent game against Everton. If he picks up the ball and he's allowed to drive forward, he will put balls into the box, and Callum Wilson will know that he can score from his head. So it's important that we keep Manquillo in this side. The two centre-backs, first up, I'm going to go with Kieran Clark over Jamal Lascelles. Hearing reports from Steve Bruce after the Everton game, he pulled up and he will be out for a few weeks. Kieran Clark can do the job. He's a great centre-back, very underrated, can put his body on the line. He tries to get forward when he can. He's very good at attacking set pieces as well. He got his new contract, so it's a welcome addition back into the side for Tuesday's game. Alongside him, I'm going to go with Fabian Schär, who was decent against Everton. We know that he likes to drive forward and he will try and make something happen. But not only that, if he's not getting forward, he can defend, and that's vitally important. So my two CDMs, first up, Matty Longstaff. This lad needs a game. It's about time that he gets into the start 11. The games are coming thick and fast, as said. We know that he brings so much energy into the side. He'll get you forward, he'll track back, he'll do what's required. He's a Geordie as well, and there's no way that Jeff Hendrick is any better than Matty Longstaff. I know he was decent, Jeff Hendrick, against Everton, but that's certain games. But I think Matty's more of a consistent midfielder. Alongside him, I'm going to go Jonjo Shelvey this time. I think he's been decent against Everton. That corner alone was fantastic. We've seen the Jonjo Shelvey of old, that he can perform at a high level, and that with his confidence being so high, then I would start him rather than Isaac Hayden. I give Isaac Hayden a bit of a rest, but Jonjo Shelvey, we need to see more of that against Crystal Palace on Tuesday night. In the number 10, I'm going to go with Miggy Almiron. He was fantastic against Everton, driving forward, making things happen. And if we could see the same again, then I'm sure it won't be too long before he gets another goal like he did against Leeds. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go with ASM. I know he's not been fully match fit. He's been starting for the last 20 minutes here and there. But now we need to see ASM get a full 90 minutes and to get a Crystal Palace. We're going to need him because we don't want to start the game slow. We don't want to be lethargic. We want to use his ability to our advantage, where he can just get down that left-hand side, he can cut in, he can put defenders under pressure. And not only that, he's a goal scorer as well, and he's a real leader for us. We miss ASM when he's not playing. On the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Ryan Fraser. You could play him on the left-hand side, but I'm going to play him right. Very good against Everton. The Fraser that we all know from Bournemouth likes to take the ball, drive forward, cut in, make chances and score goals. Up front on his own, Callum Wilson. Why would you drop this lad? He's the best striker at the club by far. A proven winner. A player who could easily play for England one day. Two very good goals against Everton, as said. He could have had a hat-trick. He could have even had 4, let's be brutally honest. And if you give him the service, he will put the ball in the back of the net. You've seen it against Everton. And if we repeat the same like we did against Everton, if ASM and Fraser are getting the service and they put the balls into the box, then he will score goals. That's what your striker does. For me, he is the number 9 at this club, and I don't understand why the club persist on keeping Joe Linton on as the number 9. Personally, I'd get rid of Joe Linton. Callum Wilson is our number 9 and here to stay. That is my starting 11 for the game against Crystal Palace. Let me know yours down below in the comment section. But we know that Crystal Palace are going to come up here, as said, with a game plan. They've got players that will make a difference on the night if we're not careful. So I can mention a couple already, like Batshuayi, who used to play for Chelsea. Natural goal scorer, a Belgian international, can score goals if he's given the service. Crystal Palace play that 4-2-3-1, so he's the main striker in front of the three. Crystal Palace, the three behind, as mentioned, Eze, another good goal scorer who was signed by QPR, was decent against us. At Selhurst Park, when we played them, he had some chances, but just didn't put them in. Pacey, and he knows where the back of the net is, so we have to be careful for him. And also not to mention Wilfried Zaha. Who else? If Wilfried Zaha isn't ticking, then Crystal Palace don't tend to tick 9 times out of 10. I've always said he could be, good enough to play for a top 6 club. That's no disrespect to Crystal Palace. I'm sure their fan base know that. But he is a real threat, and he will be that threat on Tuesday night. There's no doubt we're going to have to double up on Wilfried Zaha, just like Crystal Palace will double up on the likes of ASM, Callum Wilson, Miguel Almiron. So we're going to have to just make sure that we stay focused throughout. I'm not expecting, as said, a straightforward game. It will be a tough one from start to finish. And as said, we need to just show the same game plan, the same reaction, the same attitude. Just go at Crystal Palace, and who knows what can happen on Tuesday night. Score prediction, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Newcastle. As said, it's going to be a close game, but I'll take 3 points how they come. And if we can get another 3 points, then we're laughing. We're then on 25 points, and then the sky's the limit. Momentum's key, and we need to make sure that we keep that up, and that we just don't look at the Everton game as just a one-off result, because at the end of the day, if we play against Crystal Palace and we come off the end of a defeat, then the Everton result doesn't mean much. So we need to make sure that it means something by getting those 3 points on Tuesday night. So that is the end of the match preview. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you let me know down below in the comment section. Let me know your start 11s and your score predictions. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm trying to get to 3,600 subscribers. I don't know if I've hit that yet, so I'm less than 5 away. If you could hit that subscribe button, it would really mean the world to us. I want to get to that mark and kick on towards 4K subscribers. As said, hit the like button, turn on your notification bell so you never miss a video from myself, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy. How are the lads?